Hey everyone, welcome into Extra Time with the Courage. I'm your host, Jordan Kramer, and the NC Courage, they are one of just 3 teams in the NWSL to be without a loss in at least their last 4 games. Yes, that does mean the NC Courage, that point streak that they're on, it's officially up to 4 straight games after their 2-0 victory over the Chicago Stars Saturday afternoon at WakeMed Soccer Park. Let's take a look at how things unfolded Saturday. Not seen on this stat, but certainly seen in the stat sheet is goaltender Casey Murphy. She was a wall-in net for the club, turning in her 3rd clean sheet of the season, keeping North Carolina in the game long enough for Monaca to really find a rhythm in the second half. She scored her first of the afternoon in the 51st minute, then scored again in the 77th minute of action to give North Carolina the 2-0 lead. It's the first brace for the club since Bianca St. George's had one back in March of 2024. Monaca is now, well, go ahead and count it, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th different goal scorer of the season. For the North Carolina Courage, only Louisville and San Diego have had more diversity in goal scorers this season. Just talk about the way they're sharing the ball, how balanced they are on the attack right now. Really impressive stuff from the club. We also saw a bit of NWSL history take place Saturday afternoon. Shinomi's assist to Monaca on that second goal of the day. Well, it's just the second time in NWSL history 2 Japanese players have connected for a goal. It was also Shinomi's first NWSL points. Joining us now is NC Courage head coach Sean Nehas, one of just 3 teams in the NWSL to be on a 4-game streak without a loss. Sean, what's working so well for your club right now?
Um, yeah, I mean, I can't really put a finger on it. I think it just takes time to get into a rhythm of, how we want to play and the adjustments that we've made and trying to get players in the best spots for themselves to be successful based on the current roster we have set up. And, that we tried a few different things in the first, month of the season and just wasn't clicking. So I think when you make that change, it just takes a little bit of time. So I think that's really what it is, and the commitment of the players to the work that they do every day and staying steadfast to what they believe in and trusting the process. And I think that's what's getting us to where we are.
We'll talk about Monaca's second half surge, if you will, in just a moment. But I do want to touch on Casey Murphy first. You and I talked last week about kind of the message that you and your staff had shared with her following giving up that goal in extra time the week prior. I thought she was fantastic on Saturday. To have her kind of make that kind of comeback performance, what does that say just about her as an athlete?
I think I mean, you trust your players, right? And
Mhm.
players they're not robots, and they're gonna have days where something doesn't go the way that they planned or wanted. And, you just don't want it to become a consistent thing. So if there's no consistency with that part, then you just continue to trust them and you continue to push them and let them know that we're behind them and help them move on from the situations that maybe that arose at that moment. But yeah, I mean, I said last week what I said to her, and trust me, it's not because of what I said to her. It's because it's Casey and who she is, and she moved on, and I thought she had a good performance. And now we got to, hopefully she can take that momentum and continue to string them together. And yeah, we'll see where it leads us. But that was just a moment, and it was a great response by her.
2 goals in the second half from Monaco. What did you see out of her and the way that she was attacking on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, well, I didn't see much in the first half, to be honest. I thought we were a little bit um cautious in many ways. We weren't taking as many risks. I felt that she was dropping into areas that we didn't want her to drop into. And when she got in possession, we weren't doing enough around her, so we couldn't really expose the areas that we wanted to expose them in. So we just told her at halftime that we needed more from her. She was picking up good areas, but look, Manaka's a world-class footballer, and she just needs those moments. She cares so much and puts a lot of pressure on herself. And when she scored the first one, both goals were quite brilliant, to be honest, because it's not something you normally see. Um, you know, you, the little toe poke and then the ability. The second goal is really difficult for her to finish for any player, and the no momentum, just opened her hips and just curled it around Alyssa. I think it's a lot more difficult than people think. So yeah, I'm thrilled for her. I thought she had a great response in the second half, and we get more out of that, we're going to be in good shape.
Someone who maybe didn't show up in terms of goals or assists, but I thought really had a fantastic game was Tyler Lucy stepping in for Feely, who of course was injured on Saturday. Looked really good throughout the entirety of the game. How much of a luxury is it to have an experienced vet like Tyler on your bench that you can go to and step up in big moments when you need her to?
Yeah, Tyler's a pro's pro, and I think, she's. I said this to my staff the other day. I've seen a different Tyler this year. She seems to be taking every day and enjoying it. Not that she hasn't in the past, but she's so focused in what she does that I think sometimes, myself included, when we're in those moments, we tend to lose sight of what we're actually able to do, and what we're fortunate to do. And she's been brilliant this year. She probably hasn't, with the formation change, the position that she normally plays has been sacrificed a lot. So it's tough, but she's handled it well. She's been great with the young players. She's been great in training with a great energy and a smile on her face and pushing everyone, including herself, every single day. And she knew coming into Saturday that there was a chance she was going to play because Feely picked up the knock the day before the game. And I texted her the morning of the game and said, "You're going to go and be ready," as I know she would be. And yeah, it doesn't surprise me in the least, but that's because she prepares every single week as though she's going to play. And for those young players out there, if you want to mimic something, that's what you should mimic, because you never know when your name is going to be called.
You've had the luxury of having a couple of games at home. Now you head on the road for three of your next four. How do you carry the momentum that your club has built during this home stretch that you've had and take it on the road with you?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, anytime you're on the road, whether it's 3 out of 4 or just the next one, it's a difficult thing to do in this league. To travel across the country and all over the place just to play a game. So yeah, that part's hard. So you just go and you prepare and you give yourself the best chance for success. But I think the good thing is you're going on the road with some momentum. I think that's a positive. But you don't know it until you actually play the 90 minutes, what's going to bring. So, I think you just go business as usual. You don't talk about it. You just go business as usual and hopefully go and get 3 points. And if not, you get back to work the following day and following week. That's all you can do.
As you look at San Diego, what stands out to you most about them right now?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're a good side. Jonas has done a good job with them. A lot of new pieces. They've invested heavily in international players. You know, so they have a fluid group and possession-oriented group, but I think it'll make for a good football game. And you know, we're a group that wants to play as well. So hopefully we can get into a rhythm and disrupt them. But yeah, look, they're attack-oriented. They're young. They're spry. They're lively in between the lines. Um, but that's what you want. You want to go anytime you play, you're going to play against a good competition. But yeah, they've done a good job in rebuilding that roster in terms of the players that they've lost. To do that in such short time is a tribute to them. And, I think you know, that's why you see them in the standings that they're in. So yeah, I think, but for us, it's just go and be ourselves, be the best version of ourselves. And, hopefully put on a good performance and continue the momentum. It's still so early in the season, so nothing will be dictated based on one game.
Hopefully, get that point streak up to 5 straight games. Sean, we appreciate your time today.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Joining us now is North Carolina Courage midfielder Jaedyn Shaw. And Jaedyn, I do want to give a quick anecdote to kind of describe your personality. I met you a couple weeks ago after training. You'd gone into the other room, gotten a cookie, and I was like, oh, what kind of cookie is that? Immediately breaks it off and gives me a piece of the cookie, which I just was like, she's a girl's girl. Like, she is the best kind of person to be around.
That's crazy. That was like kind of a while ago.
It was, but it really stood out to me. I was like, oh,
Aw,
she's the kind of person that you want around. Yeah, if they break off a
that
piece
was
of
a
their
fire
cookie for you,
cookie, I can't lie.
it was like a brown sugar something
Yeah, it was
situation.
like toffee. It was one of Liv's cookies. She like is the best baker ever. So,
It was really good, and I appreciated the share of the cookie. You have had just such an amazing journey, and you're 20 years old, which is so crazy to think. You went pro at 17 years old. I did not make any major life decisions at 17 years old. So I'm curious for you, did that feel like a huge, massive decision? Or were you like, no, I mean, this is just like the next step in my soccer journey?
um, I think like obviously it felt like a big like decision, but I think like in the moment, it was more so like I felt like I was ready. And so then it didn't feel as crazy of a jump because I had like been in the environment for a little bit. And when I made the decision, I was like, yeah, like I can do this. Like I can hang, I can do this for a long time. And yeah, it just like felt right. So it was definitely a big decision, but I think like overall I felt like very at peace about it.
I thought it was absolutely insane, kind of just reading up on you. You started 13 days after signing with the club. What was that like for you? At 17 years old, you're the second youngest player to start an NWSL game. Like, did you feel you were making history, or were you just, again, like, I mean, you're such a great soccer player that it just felt kind of normal?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking too much on like the history behind it. I think like honestly, I was just like itching to play because I had been like training with the Spirit for 7 months at this point. And so when I signed with San Diego, I was like, yes, I can play, like get me on the field, I can play. So I was just like really excited to play, honestly. I didn't expect to start, but when I did, I was like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be fun. And yeah, I was just like enjoying the moment, to be honest.
When you are so young and you're making history in the way that you have in your career, second youngest player to start an NWSL game, first Vietnamese American to represent the U.S. women's national team, how do you handle kind of the expectations that are associated with your career? Because I imagine it's a lot at times.
Yeah, I mean, I think like from the beginning, because I was coming in so young, there was a lot of like media behind everything. And I think like at first it was hard for me to kind of like handle. But I think like as I've gotten more into it, and I think like it's been easier for me to just like focus on the soccer and like take in information that's gonna help me and just like not worry about whatever else is being said. And yeah, just kind of like going out and playing and just like enjoying like my years playing pro because it's not going to last forever. And I think just like being around a lot of veteran players from the start of my career has helped me just like figure out like how I'm gonna like navigate like the pro environment. And I think that that was really beneficial for me, just being around so many amazing like legendary players from the beginning, just to like help guide me in that way.
I mean, you had Alex Morgan as a mentor. I don't know that it gets much better than that.
Yeah.
I did mention this. You were the first Vietnamese American to be called up to the U.S. women's national team. What did that mean to you in that moment? And maybe even kind of being a couple years removed now, do you feel like the weight of that moment was bigger looking back?
I think like I honestly didn't even really know that I would be the first one until it like was said. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like I think it was like more of a reflection, and I was like, wow, like I really didn't have anyone that had like a Vietnamese background to look up to. And like I find that like honestly really crazy. And I was like, wow, like maybe I can be that person for someone else. Like I may not look Vietnamese, but I am proud to be a Viet queen. Like so yeah, I think like honestly it was an honor whenever it like was said, and I was like, oh wow, like this is honestly like really amazing to be that person. And yeah, I'm just like really grateful to have that opportunity.
How has your Vietnamese culture kind of shaped who you are as a person?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I spent so much time around my mom's side and just like hanging out with all of my cousins. We had a huge family, so yeah, it was just like I feel like they were always really supportive of everything that I was doing. They didn't fully understand, but once it was like kind of getting to the point where I was like really getting successful with it, I think they were like, wow, like this is like we're really proud of you, and we know that all your hard work is paying off and all of that stuff. And yeah, I think like my Vietnamese culture really just like taught me the value of family and being together and um, being there for one another, whether you have beef with them or not. Like you are family, and you are just yeah, you do everything for your family, and family always comes first. So
Well, you really put on for your Vietnamese heritage over the weekend with your arrival fit for your all's game against
Yeah.
Chicago. I mean, my jaw dropped when I saw this. Like, I'm not kidding. I thought this was the most sick fit I think I've ever seen. Walk me through how you kind of created this, how this piece came to be, because it's so incredible.
Yeah, so this legendary, like iconic Asian designer messaged me and was like, "Hey, like I want to do a traditional ao dai for you," which is what that dress is called. It's a Vietnamese dress and it's called an ao dai. And this was like back last year and he was like, "Well, if you have any like red carpet events or something," and I was like, "I don't get invited to those, but I'll let you know."
That's not true. That is not true.
So, so I was like kind of putting it off because I was like, oh, I want it to be like a big, big, big moment. And then this year I was like, honestly, like I think like this would be a great time to do it. And I feel like we've been going kind of crazy with the fits. And so I was like, I feel like this is a good time to like just make something happen. And so we jumped on a Zoom call and we were just kind of bouncing ideas back and forth and yeah, we just came up with this like kind of deconstructing a jersey and putting it into the dress and kind of matching the different color fabrics that are in our jersey, which helps actually because it allows you to have different textures and different colors in it. And when we were designing it, I was kind of like, I really want it to look traditional because that's kind of the point. Like I wanted to give like our traditional culture and yeah, so we have like the traditional silhouette, but also like the modernizing of like the jersey. And then you can't really see, but like there's a closure, and normally it's just like a zipper on the back, but because of the jersey, they put or he put like the it's like a traditional closer. It's got like hooks and clips. And so it goes all the way from like kind of like the armpit area all the way up to the middle of my neck.
Mhm.
And so that's how I close it. And I thought that was really cool because it was like an extra touch of traditional like closure, and I think that that was really cool. Um, yeah, his name was Ty Win. He's based out of LA, so I had to like go to like a tailoring place and like get my measurements and send it to him, and then he made it, and it was like perfectly fitting, which was amazing. I was a little stressed that it wasn't gonna be super like accurate because when I was like side note when I was getting like measured, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be accurate. It was a little sus. um but yeah, so yeah, I'm like super happy that it came out the way that it did. And yeah, I'm just like stoked that I got to work with Ty. And yeah, he did an amazing job. So yeah, I was just happy to honestly celebrate AAPI because I know we don't really like do anything crazy for those kind of things, so it was like cool to like show it here.
You would never know that the tailoring was sus because it truly fits you like a glove.
Yeah.
What was it like for you just to kind of walk up on game day wearing this outfit? I know for myself, when I put on certain clothes, you just have a certain aura to you. Like, what did this fit do to your aura for Saturday's game day?
I mean, honestly, I felt like a baddie in this, to be honest.
As you
I was
should.
like, I was like, wow, like this really like sculpted me up. I felt like it was giving like I needed a slick back, but I wanted my hair down still. So, yeah, I just felt very like cute and like pretty. And yeah, I just thought like the dress was just like the moment, and so I didn't have to do too much to make it look good. It was doing it on its own.
It looked incredible, but so do all of like your arrival fits. We've got a little bit of a compilation here. You always just, I think, are so adventurous in your style, which is really fun to see. What's the process like for you putting together one of your arrival fits?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always been into fashion, but I'm like naturally a very like introverted person. And so when it comes to like outfits, I'm always like, I don't know, like I don't know if the people are gonna like it. And so then I've been working with this stylist that's been helping me get my life together. And she's always like, "Girl, you so scary." And I'm like, "But I trust you." Like I'm scared. I'm like, "Girl, I don't know about it." Or I'll give her that face. And she's like, "Trust the process." And I'm always like, yes. And then like I'll throw a couple accessories in there, or like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like once I put it on, I'm like, it's a done deal. I'm ready to go. I feel confident. I think like from doing like shoots in the past, I know that the pictures always come out the best when I feel the most confident and when I feel the most um like beautiful in what I'm wearing. And so then I've like gone to a point where I'm a lot more vocal about what I like and what I don't like. And when it comes together, then it's just like I know that it's gonna be fire because I just feel good. And yeah, I just like feel confident in what I'm wearing, and that's really the main part is like I'm showing a bit of my personality in the outfits and in my arrival fits, and I think it's really a cool opportunity for me to um utilize this platform for that. And it's been really fun, honestly. It's been really fun. So yeah, I'm grateful for everyone that's contributing to that.
I love your arrival fits. All right, we are not done with you, but we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do 8 rapid fire questions. So
Okay.
get ready for it, Jay.
Okay.
Back with Jaedyn Shaw. We've got 8 rapid fire questions. Jaedyn, are you ready for these?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. If you were stranded on a desert island, which teammate would you bring with you?
KK.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
She did pick herself as one of them, but I'm impressed. I got to figure out what KK's survival skills are. All right, you are a fashion girly, so if you had to trade closets with one of your teammates, which teammate would you make the trade with?
If I had to trade closets with someone, Macy.
Ooh, okay. If your life was a movie, who would play you?
Ooh, okay. Either Kiki Palmer or
Okay.
Taraji P. Henson.
Ooh, okay, those are really good
Yeah.
answers. I like those. I was kind of trying to think for you earlier, and I was going like Zendaya, but I like those 2
Yeah.
answers.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like Zendaya would be a common answer, but I feel like based on like personality and like someone that maybe could sort of look a little bit more similar,
Okay,
I
yeah,
would
no,
say.
I see it. I see it for sure.
Yeah.
What's the craziest fan interaction you've had?
Trying to think. I mean, just like recently, I think there was this one fan that wanted, I think it was like my socks or something. And I was like, I fear you don't want my socks. I fear that's not what you want.
You know, KK said last week somebody wanted her shoes, and I'm starting to sense a bit of a pattern, and I
Yeah.
fear this question may have to stop being asked.
Yeah, I
Because
fear the socks was not gonna happen. Like, I feel like I was just like, I'll sign anything you want, just not my socks, please.
yeah, I'll sign your socks if
Yeah,
you want.
yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
my toes aren't done either, so like I can't be just like barking around this field right now. No, I can't do it.
Okay, what's your most used emoji?
Oh my gosh, wait, my friends are gonna love this one. I really love the lip bite emoji. There's like literally no context. I just like love using it. Um, yeah, I use it for everything. It's like in my captions, in my comments, like yeah, the lip bite emoji is my favorite right now.
Okay, that was an easy one. We are in North Carolina, so which would you prefer for an off day, a beach trip or a mountain trip?
Beach trip, easy.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I've got to ask, have you had cookout yet?
No, I have not. I feel like I've gotten mixed signals about cookout. Like some people say it's really good, some people say it's like kind of mid. You should just get a shake. So I don't know. I haven't made it out yet, but I will
A little.
eventually.
And what's your go-to coffee order?
Um, I feel like I'm still like a very low level coffee drinker, so I'm gonna say an iced vanilla latte. But
That's
I have
perfect.
like dabbled in like a flat white or two, or like a cortado if I'm really feeling snazzy, but mostly just like a latte.
I think you have the best personality, truly. I've enjoyed talking to you so much. Enjoy the rest of your off day. We appreciate your time immensely, Jaedyn.
Thank you.
Well, Well, Jaedyn Shaw going to be taking a trip down memory lane this weekend as the North Carolina Courage head out west to face San Diego. The Wave are currently second in NWSL standings, and they're coming off a 1-0 victory over Gotham FC that helped them surpass Orlando in league standings. The Wave are one of just 2 teams in the league to rank top 5 in both goals scored and goals against this season. They've scored 16 goals, which ranks second in the NWSL, and allowed 10 goals this season. That's the same number of goals the Courage have given up this year. That game is Sunday at 10 p.m. Make sure you have plenty of coffee going for you. Know your foe? Well, you got to know these 3 when it comes to the San Diego Wave. They are led in scoring by 17-year-old Kimi Ascanio. She's gotten 3 goals in their last 4 games, 3 goals and 1 assist on the season. She kind of gives Tobin Heath vibes in the way that she plays. She's been a mainstay since 2022 with the U.S. Youth National Team, and she's expected to be a staple on the U.S. Women's Senior Team here in the coming years. Another key member of that team you need to know, well, it's Delphine Cascarino. She's one of 2 French national team members on the team. She's got 2 goals, 3 assists on the season, one of just 5 NWSL players with 3 assists on the year. And Gia Corley, well, she's got 2 goals for the club as well. The NC Courage have done really well lately against the top half of the league. They beat the Kansas City Current. They tied with the Orlando Pride when they were second in NWSL standings. So certainly a lot of confidence going into Sunday evening's game, going up against a team who now ranks second in the NWSL, that they can get the job done. Going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out west. That does it for us this week on Extra Time with the Courage. We'll see you here next week.